Man, very interesting indeed, hey? Wow, I think I should make a turn there for sure. But listen, right now that we are joined by this handsome man, Dr. Darren Green, he is.
Morning.
On the 29th of September, that is this coming Saturday, it is World Health Day, or World Heart Day at that. And you are joining us this morning to talk about this very common, I think, particularly very dangerous condition called hypertension.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, this is the silent killer. That a lot of people don't know they suffer from it up until it's too late sometimes.
You don't know.
Dude, I think for people that's not fully understanding exactly what hypertension is, just unpack it for us a little bit.
100%. So if you think about a closed pipe system or a hose pipe system, the pressure in that system is generated because it's closed on the one end and the tap's open on the other end. If you put a cork on it,
then there's pressure.
There's pressure. So what happens is when the heart contracts, that's called systole. That's your top one, the high blood pressure.
Yes.
And that's when the pressure in the system is at its highest. When the heart relaxes, that's called diastole. That's when it's at its lowest. So the two values represent the pressure in the system while the heart's contracting.
Yeah.
And then the lower blood pressure of the two, obviously, is the diastole when it's relaxing. And obviously, the pressure that's exerted on the walls of the blood vessels is crucial because it causes structural changes over time that you don't know about until, obviously, you have end organ damage.
That's it. So what would be a normal blood pressure? So it's 180 over, what is it?
Yeah, so it depends on your age.
Yeah.
So young children, for example, can have lower blood pressures, and so do ladies. Yeah. It's related to your size and your muscle mass as well. So 120 over 80 is what we use in general for adults weighing 70 kilograms.
Right. Now let's talk about managing high blood pressure. I think firstly, what is the causes? What is it that makes the pressure in the arteries, and how do you go about managing it? I mean, you don't want to suffer from it at the end of the day because it is
100%.
something that's it's quite fatal if left untreated.
There are a few ways of controlling it. The first one I think is you have to put down the salt. So if you think about salt as an absolute solution, so just remember salt has to absorb water to dilute itself. So if you've got lots of salt in the bloodstream, what the body does is it holds onto water to dilute it. And then it increases the blood volume and then, of course, the blood pressure long term. So decreasing your salt, and remember salt is hidden in the different types of spices you use. So try and utilize things like fresh herbs and spices that are low in sodium. And that will obviously help you in reducing the amount of blood pressure brought about by sodium in your diet.
Yeah, it seems that salt is definitely the one that's being put under the spotlight here with regards to food, because like you've said, it's also hidden in a lot of food, canned foods. There's so much hidden. Yeah, you got to learn to read the labels as well for that sodium content. In terms of what we eat, is there anything that we should be including?
Yeah, the second health hack is whole grains.
Okay.
So whole grains imply things like instead of having white bread that spikes your insulin response, your glycemic index, your GI foods that give you a quick response, we want whole grains. And that means whole wheat bread and rye bread specifically. That helps you certainly with weight control and weight management too, because you stay fuller for longer with that glycemic index, which is a low GI. And that can contribute to your blood pressure too, but with good weight management.
Absolutely. And then we also talk about healthy fats that you need to get into your diet. What are we looking at here? Because I think people think about still fats being bad.
So we look at the ingredients that we're ingesting, like your flaxseed oil, in terms of your omega-3 and almonds, etc. But people forget about preparing food. So you need to cook with a monounsaturated fat with a high omega-3 content. And that's why one of the best products available on the market right now is the BWELL Canola Oil, which is high in omega-3 and very low in the polyunsaturated or the bad fats in terms of your cardiovascular risk profile.
That's the one, and we cook with it often on the show as well. They're very healthy.
Definitely makes a difference.
So good fats, we get to BWELL canola oil, avocados, salmon, like you mentioned, those kind of things.
Absolutely, and nuts.
Top tip for managing high blood pressure.
Exercise with those other things. And remember that exercise increases your good cholesterol, which is your HDL. And obviously introducing enough fiber into your diet decreases the bad cholesterol, the loser lipoprotein, the LDL.
Fantastic. Dr. Darren Green, thank you very much for joining us this morning. Some great health hacks for managing high blood pressure. Now remember to consult with your healthcare professional for more advice on cardiovascular health.